Okay. So offer, super, super important. And the more time that we invest in creating a awesome offer, the less time and less energy and less stress and less, unclear moments we're going to have when we actually go to market, right? It also helps to actually communicate that to your entire team, and it's far more scalable. Okay. The last key takeaway, which will be hopefully coming to a point of very shortly, is understanding traffic sources, okay, and what all traffic means and how to actually utilize traffic. So a lot of us are buying ads, spending money on ads without it, really understanding if our offers actually different or unique, or if we can actually serve those clients that we're bringing into the pipeline. So a ton of times what I'm seeing is that you could probably get by with less leads if you knew how to service them and you knew how to provide a client journey that got people to buy from you sooner, more frequently, and understanding where they are in their buying decisions. So just because somebody has reached out or maybe engaged with your content does not mean they're ready to buy now, but we can make them ready to buy from us shortly if we're identifying key points in the buyer's journey. Okay. So with that said, I've kind of put it out there what I'm hoping everybody is taking away, but I'd love to hear, and I'll just pick on a few people. Eric, are you here? Or are you just listening?
Yeah, I'm there. Yeah.
All right. So what's been a takeaway from all the classes that you've been to? What's been one of the key takeaways that you've gotten?
So yeah, I got a lot of them. So first off, understanding who's your client,
Mm-hmm.
speaking their language, where to find them.
Mm-hmm.
So that is a big one. Also, customer journey. This is very, very critical. So if you want to scale your business, you have to build a beautiful customer journey. And have your customer to be engaging with, whatever emails,
Mm-hmm.
giveaways, or like referral, campaign.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another one. So there's a lot to it, and it's understanding and which market you like, what type of different offers that you have
Mm-hmm.
to build to be successful, understanding all your different offers. So for instance, for us, we're doing roofing, we're doing James Hardy, we're doing um, insurance, we want to do property management. So we're going to have to work on the offers and speak directly to them with our content and marketing.
Right.
So that's a big one, right? So I've been with GHL and trying, to kind of automate some emails. We're just at
Mm-hmm.
the early stage. I just want to create more content and engage with them more often. So, but that's, yeah, those, if I can focus on marketing and sales,
Yeah.
like,
That's the only thing scalable in your business, right? So
uh-huh.
anybody that convinces you otherwise, and I think a lot of us, that's a valuable lesson to learn.
Mhm.
You will never ever grow your contracting business or your construction business by being productive. Okay. So that's a 10th commandment. If you believe by being productive in your business that you will scale and grow and find true freedom, you are delusional. Okay. There's no money, no value. And the best way I can explain it to anybody that's, really, takes in this message is at the end of the day, think about what you would pay yourself. Okay. So think about if you are the best CEO, best operator, best, best installer, best designer, okay, that is a role that has a maximum dollar value to it. So meaning, would you pay yourself $300,000 to $400,000 a year to be a general manager? No, right?
Mhm.
Is it possible? Could you afford to pay yourself $300,000 to $400,000 being a designer? Probably not. Would it make sense? No, you'd hire someone that's better than you for about 150, right?
Yeah.
That's where we need to understand where are the growth points and where do we actually make money in business. And there's two exact places. is in your marketing. So getting really good at marketing, getting really good at, offering to the market, understanding how customers buy, getting them to a sales team. All right. And then in sales. All right. Those two things are what grow businesses. All
Mhm.
right. And the best way you can also look at it is what comes first, the cart or the horse. Right. So that's what we're here, really kind of establish. The more that we switch into that mindset as you try to grow your business, when it's beyond you, when you're not on the tools, when you're not in it, the only places that you should be focusing long term into growing a business and really growing yourself is sales and marketing, as far as I'm concerned. Now, does that mean you neglect production and all that stuff? No, it doesn't mean it. I just means that you find people that are absolute killers in that area, okay, to run that stuff for you, because growing production and growing, becoming more efficient at producing jobs, I mean, although it's important, it's not what's going to get you to the next level, right? It's not what's
Yeah.
going to allow you to, and again, I much rather hire someone that's really good at that stuff than try to do it myself. And that's where I think a lot of us get caught in the weeds. And again, like, think about it. Could you sell 10 jobs in a day? Hell yeah, right? Could you produce 10 jobs in a day? No. So what's more scalable, right?
Selling.
Selling, right? And again, I think just about everyone that I've encountered so far needs to be in that mindset and needs to get these things done, systemized.
Mhm.
When we talk about systems, one system feeds the other, right? So, we're going to be going into operations soon with our training. Got some crazy stuff for you guys there. But I don't start with that. All right. Because we need to have the first thing working. The sales and marketing has to be, at least somewhat predictable and manageable for you to focus in other areas of your business.
Yeah, and then also marketing, I'm working with you, Jay, like to get some a hiring campaign going
Yeah.
on
Yeah. That's
with
crazy.
some videos. So if we can have, a great marketing around the hiring
That's
system, like I just want to hire, 10 sales guys,
right.
but I feel like I have some challenges.
Mhm.
But again, it's like, how are you gonna speak to the sales guy? How do you gonna speak with your door-to-door guy? How
Right.
are you gonna speak to them directly so they can they can, you
You
know,
start to track them.
they can
Right.
start to reach out to you, right? So that marketing is like a very, very strong game. And the contractors don't really totally understand that.
Well, it's foreign, and the big thing here too, and I'll just say this, like, hiring and recruiting is exactly the same as marketing and sales. You put the two of them side
Mhm.
by side, most people don't realize, but where I see gaps is companies that can market themselves generally have all the guys.
Mhm.
Like, you see where the connection is here? Because if you don't know how to communicate your offer, don't know how to communicate to, present yourself as an opportunity, all these things, it goes into every aspect of the business, all the way down. It goes into values. It goes into like everything that makes great companies or breaks great companies, right? So the importance here is, first of all, don't try to master it. You won't. Okay. Marketing and sales is better off delegated to professionals for certain things. Now, I'm not saying you don't be involved. The most important thing for you guys to get a hold of is your offers. Those are
Mhm.
the things that are make you unique, make you stand out, and it's what you have to stand behind, right? Getting a hold of that offer, understanding how that mechanism works, makes marketing so much easier. Think about getting a copyright hired. Think about hiring an ad agency. Think about, like, you're going to them and saying, go get me this. I only want this. All right. And if you can't do that, I will find someone who will. Right. Versus, hey, I need some leads. Right. Or, a recruitment agency. What kind of guy do you need? What kind of guy fits your offer? Right. It's all the same stuff. So learning this stuff is critical for, for you to have clarity. And you don't put the stress that you have to be, a pro marketer, or you have to, like, if you're interested and it gives you energy, do it. But most people will only need to know offers. Okay. The rest you can hire people for. But if you don't get that first part right, what are you hiring people to do? Right? The messaging won't be right. The connection you're trying to make with the client won't be right. And in this day and age, there's so much, and we'll see it more and more with the AIs and everything else, is, as much as I've brought those things up here and how they can be powerful, they can be just as much of a hindrance if not properly thought out. Okay. So again, we're going to see a ton more people resistant to AI. Like AI is very easy to see in chat conversations. I don't know if anyone's engaged with that. Should you be using that to sell your jobs? No, there's not an AI on the planet yet that I've seen that can do that properly. Okay. But could it get the appointment to your doorstep easily and more efficiently in a way that the customer is going to appreciate? Yes, it can. So don't try and implement it. Don't think that you can run a business completely on AI. You can't. Okay. So I'll break that right up. AI is a tool. It's nothing to be worried about or threatened by, but we got to use it in the right place. If you don't know your own client journey, there isn't a tool, a marketing company. There's nothing that will correct that for you. You have to get it right from the get-go. You have to get it to a point where you can see where the adjustments need to be made and that you can properly service that offer. Once you get it right though, hey man, I'm not going to lie. I've been rolling on the same offer for a decade, making slight variations to it, and it's killing it. And like that is the equity that you've built in your business. No matter what do you think it is that builds business and gives equity? And like it's the offer, right? It's thinking out all the pieces to it. That's how it makes you profitable. That's what makes everything consistent, right? Make sense?
That's right.
Cool. One more, Sivash, I see you've been at just about every class. What's been a takeaway for you? Oh,
Yeah, takeaway for me. I'm the guy that loves marketing. I love clicking. I love numbers. I love CPC conversion. I love that stuff. But I, dude, for me, because I'm not a contractor, like I haven't built shit.
yeah.
Like I struggled with a sense of like being totally transparent of worthiness. Like I
Okay.
own this business, but I didn't feel worthy to own this business because I always needed people to help me to work through situations, right?
Mhm.
So if I can feel empowered to be who I am, which is like a marketing and sales guy,
Mhm.
to bring the right jobs into the company and then to employ the right people to do the work.
That is business right there. Like that's success, right? We're all trying to
Yeah,
do the same thing. We're in the resource business. Bring in the right jobs, get the right guys. Life's easy, isn't it?
yeah. The challenge was like from the $1 to $3 million mark, things break down that
Big
aren't
time.
sales marketing based, right? So it's
Totally.
and then we hit this downturn in the economy,
Mhm.
right? And then all of a sudden, the little Google ads I had and hiring a couple salespeople didn't work like it used to.
Right. And that's not see that's where companies right now are finding out the companies that are going to survive the next, I'm going to say 3 to 12 months are going to be the ones that are marketing strong. Okay. Because a lot of what we were relying on with an inflated economy has gone away. The middle class market has been decimated. They're not buying, they're scared. Right. So how do you shift your offers? How do you shift your momentum towards a customer that can afford to pay a fair price? And here's the thing, guys. Here's the craziest part. There is no less opportunity in the market today than there was 3 to 6 months ago. All right. There's a resistance to people spending money right now. If you can use marketing to get people over their fear of spending money, you're going to find out that there's not less money. There's not less opportunity. There's more. And it's continuing to grow. Like, don't let that become a mindset where we start to blame things, right? But it does require you to have a marketing plan in place. It does require you to think about reducing overhead costs. It does require you to think about doing things more efficiently. And then I believe there's another pressure that's coming very, very quickly. And most people aren't recognizing contractors. This is by far the biggest opportunity is AI is going to start to really have impact on the economies and on, what we see as a contractor. Now it's a tool. That's it, right? It's just like the internet when it came out, everyone was scared of it. Like shit, when electricity got made, like people were, totally against that too. It's the same deal. But where AI is going to be able to help you and allow you to get ahead of the pack is removing all these jobs that may or may not even be getting done, the follow-ups, all the the
Videos.
time consuming, the videos, the AI like you can use it. Such a powerful tool that gives you an unfair advantage over everybody else. So again, do we need to have more staff? No, we can actually lower overhead with less staff. You know, I've shown it in the hiring process, how we've basically been able to move it to AI with no effect, anything transactional. Like think about following up with a candidate. Like how many people love doing that or even
No
do
one.
it so it doesn't
No one.
happen, right? But how powerful is it when you have a whole warm bench of people that have just been, you know, continuously warmed up, and you've put some thought into that? It's the same as your marketing, your clients. I'll give you a good example. I just sold a job yesterday from a client from 3 years ago. Okay, $67,000 project. All right, I had to up the price $22,000 for the new rate, and no issues. Why is that? Right? And I was really like,
Trust.
again, you go back and you look, it's because I stayed consistent. Just because they didn't say no. You know, I brought this up to you guys, and you know, for anyone in our program, you'll see why. 25% of my leads I'm generating right now, and on average over every year, are from customers I never did business with. Okay. So that's the power of having a good sales process. The other big benefit to getting this right is you can get more money. Okay. You can ask for more money. So before I go any further, I want to bring up one really, really critical element that we're going to see that's going to become overwhelming for most contractors is speed to lead. Okay. So you guys may have seen me posting, getting people aware of the importance of speed to lead. So I'm going to share this with you guys as a part of our lesson today, because it does fall into how we do our content as well. Okay. So let's think about something logically. All right. If there was one thing that you could all improve in your business right now, besides, you know, building out a big marketing campaign, building out, you know, all these complex systems, emails, all of that, like all of that takes time. Okay. If there's one place that you could get triple or, you know, 6 times your value back, just improve the time of which you take to respond to a lead. So on paper, statistically, 78% of home contracts were closed to the first company that responded. Well, let's sink in for a second. 78%. And this was a huge study done by Harvard Business School. Okay. And I've known it to be true for a very long time. All right. So if you're in the service-based business, it's even more critical. And I just don't think a lot of contractors realize it, that their speed to lead and their follow-up game is really where they're letting themselves down. Right. So again, we're moving more and more to this style of business where people are going to be less willing to have you at their home. They don't want to be sold. We're in the post-trust era. So how are we going to acquire business quicker? And I've been saying it for years, but now I can really, you know, statistically, you know, prove it, is people are moving to the speed and convenience model. Okay. The faster you can respond, the more, you know, you can build your value. You can explain who you are with the least amount of human contact, as bad as that may seem, especially in the early going follow-up, keeping people engaged, understanding to keep your content short, all those kind of things, following a few key principles. You will win the game automatically right there. Okay. To the guy that's not using some of these systems, there's just no way to compete. Like, that's a full stop on your recruitment, on your marketing, on your sales. No way to compete. If you're 24/7, 365 serving your client, no matter what, whether that's answering a question, whether that's, you know, booking them to a call, booking them to a lead, whether that's, you know, sharing with them some value or content or whatever, if you can do that 24/7, 365, and your competitor can only get back to them in 2 days, who's going to win? Who's going to win? Every time. It doesn't matter, no matter which way you want to slice it. So when we're looking at places we should be investing, you know, energy and time into, again, this is where we bring up these systems. This is why I keep, you know, screaming it out at everybody. Like, pay attention. This one thing could double or triple your business. And now you have the opposite problem. Like, what would 3 more jobs out of every 10 mean to your business? How different would things be? Would you be, you know, in a production problem now? More than likely. Everyone that we've implemented with and that we've worked with on this, including J. Carter Roofing, massive sales, right? Like, again, I'm not worried. The least I want the economy to melt the fuck down. I would love that to happen, because all that's going to do is turn over resources. All right. That means and right now, like, I could show you my ads, like our subcontractors, we've got, for every employee I have 20 replacements for, like, on paper, like vetted, interviewed, ready to go. And for all my subcontractors, I've got 10. Right. So again, that wields a lot of power. Now for customers, we're having to move far more quicker, but I'm signing contracts today and from the past for my follow-up and my speed to lead, right? Proposals and all those kind of things that matter, but it's all system based. It's not more work. I didn't hire a bunch of people to do it. I didn't have to hire more salespeople. I actually got rid of salespeople and only focused on the top salespeople, making sure that they're true blown closers, not mixing jobs. They're not my production manager. They're not, the other things that you have them. It's going to require in this environment that you need to have closing skills if that's your model of business. For the B2B, again, think about it, guys. How quickly can you get quotes back? How quickly can you, that's who's going to win. How frequently can you get quotes out? That's what contractors are looking for. And you're going to win and be able to hold your position and grow just by focusing on that key metric, right? So just a show of hands and out of curiosity, how many of you guys can turn a quote or a request or anything around right now, like instantly? Okay. How many of you guys can turn a quote around, respond to a customer within 1 day? Yep. Okay. So that's good. 1 to 2 days. There you go. So think about the logic behind that. Somebody makes a request. We want to think of, they're looking to have their deck redone. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't get back to them 1 to 2 days. How many other of your competitors have they called already? Right. And that's assuming that you got them through ads. So this is the real scary part. If you're using ads, people are in that 3% mark. They're ready to buy now. They're problem and solution aware. Okay. So if you let that lead go 1 to 2 days, you've got almost like you've had 3 of your competitors already respond, probably giving them quotes. Like you're in the dust. And now what's going to happen is your quote's going to be compared to the person they liked that got back to them and showed them, that they were interested in their job first.
We were doing from a sales process standpoint, what we were doing is first to lead.
Yep.
Last to quote.
Okay, so hold on. So that can still be implemented, but here's how you would do it. The first to respond is critical because that means you're the first to influence the decision or buying make. So what happens after that is what we call client journey. So did you share a video? How did you differentiate yourself from the nearest competitor? So first thing we do, AI video goes out. Boom. We introduce ourselves. Hey, we want to meet you face to face. Nice, here's what we would need, right? We want to invite them to a discovery call. Anybody at any point can book a discovery call with me 24/7, 365. Our sales reps there, they get the video, everything else, like that service. Okay. They feel heard, and then my sales team, again, they're experts, they're closers. My lowest guy right now is about 4 million a year. All right. Wow. They know what they're doing. So when they are on that call, they're able to quickly qualify, but it's systemized, right? There's nothing falling through the cracks. So we're spending our time in front of prospects, not doing quotes, you can hire teams for that, right? But the speed is what matters. Okay. Booking an appointment a weekend out, this is how you would fill the gap. You would add value while you're doing it. So for example, buyer's package. You send a buyer's package to them immediately that gives them a checklist on how to qualify, a contractor. You send them, go ahead.
Just slowing that down because there's so much to take in all at the same time.
So
add 3% top dollar spend, assuming you're playing that game, right? Mm-hmm. Because right, speed to lead, AI bot, schedule the discovery call with the closer, right? Mm-hmm. And then obviously all the automation in the back end to build brand value in preparation for that consultation call to book the in-person appointment accordingly.
Sort of, yes. Okay, so let's go through a buyer journey. Okay, so this is all most people go from being aware. So they just found out about you. Okay, so imagine it's the first hello to let's get married. So again, here's the problem. Think about going out and hard selling somebody immediately before they know they're problem aware, offer aware. Okay, there's an issue there. So what I encourage everyone to think about is slow it down. Okay. So what do we want to do after we've just met somebody? We want to have a conversation with them. We want to see if they're, even interested in us, right? Let's associate this to dating. Okay. We want to see, what they're interested, what they're looking for. Like have that engagement. This is where these AIs and stuff like that, emails, stuff like that, content, which we'll be talking about. This is where this is a courtship, right? So again, do people just wake up in the morning and go, hey, I'm going to build a new house today. Let me call the first contractor and see if I can get a contract signed today. Hell no, right? There's so many little pieces of it. So what do we want to do first? We want to create dialogue. We want to create a conversation. We want to maybe give, some clarity on our offer. We want to, create some value with them. And I think that's been lost a lot. And contractors especially. So these are things like lead magnets and stuff like that. How do we show our value without being salesy? Okay. Without asking people for an appointment, right? So again, how do we go from, hey, nice to meet you, to let's get married? We want to go, hey, nice to meet you. What can I help you with? Right? Have a general conversation with them, figure out what they need. All right. Next, we want to move them to, show interest in them. So subscribe, I call it, right? Maybe you're going to help them, inadvertently or two-step. And again, I'm talking about buyer's journey here, right? So this isn't the 3% that already, have made a decision to ask for a quote. This is all the things that go before that. Because the last thing you guys want is having a customer show up that's only looking at price, right? And how do you differentiate yourself from the next guy? Well, you start earlier, okay? You start to influence their decisions well before they ever ask you for a quote, okay? So again, we've talked about lead magnets a lot throughout this, and again, I hope most of you guys understand the value of using a lead magnet. Builders, contractors, like everyone here can benefit from a lead magnet. And lead magnet is simple as this. I'm going to exchange a little bit of value with you, checklist, buyer's packs. There's a million things you can do, right? I've shared with probably everyone here some of our lead magnets, some of our manuals. The idea here is I'm exchanging contacts. It's a bribe, right? Here, I'm going to give you this value for a little bit for getting your contact information. Okay.
Quick question for you, Jay, just
Sure.
to maybe I hope this adds value to everybody else, just to understand this process overall. So I'm on Google, I'm doing my keyword research and whatnot, right? And then I found a huge volume of people looking for backyard ideas.
Yep. Perfect.
Right? No one's
buying those words.
No one's fucking buying that shit, right?
Yeah.
I'm out there paying $10, $15 a click.
Right.
For people looking to buy now.
Right.
And there's way more volume of people just doing research.
100%. No, so everything starts. So again, the whole
that goes into your lead magnet.
That's right.
idea.
This is what I try to teach everybody, is that we need to generate leads now, but there's a way more profitable, and like how I've been able to sustain and grow my business is I look at the value of the contact. Okay. So all my marketing is directed at creating awareness first. Okay. Giving value. All right. Nurturing them through to the buying. I'm ready to buy now. So I need to make them problem and solution aware. That's my job with this process. Okay. So once you take someone in the research, and just think of the power. So now they're comparing you to everybody else. Okay. So when they do get other quotes, they're comparing you because you've provided all this upfront value and information to them to make the decision. Okay. That's what you use lead magnets for, but thought out, like again, finding those keywords that an agency's not bidding on. Why? Because it's going to take 90 days to warm up that prospect to become a buyer. They're marketing qualified, but not sales qualified. There's the gap. There's your opportunity to make millions right there. Most guys do not see it. And I can go into any market, any place, and find these gaps. Because why? Same reason that you can think of. I need leads now. Cool. Do you not think the algorithms know that? Right? You want to buy a lead now? No problem. You're going to bid with everyone else because the customer's shown engagement. They've shown a behavior pattern that indicates they're ready to buy. That's 3% of the market. Everyone's buying those leads. Everybody. Okay. That's a bad place to be in position for. All right.
And there might be an opportunity. So like people looking for ideas, people looking to buy like material, do it yourself.
Like I said, no one wakes up in the morning and goes, hey, I want to build a house tomorrow. I'm going to find a contractor, right? That's not the way the decision is made. So identifying these things and then adding pieces to it to provide the value. And the easiest way I can explain it, guys, is just don't be fucking weird, right? Don't be weird. They don't know you. You're a stranger. And this is where most contractors rely on word of mouth and referrals, is because they don't know how to convert cold traffic into paying customers. That is the biggest dilemma and problem that we have as contractors that I see day in and day out, is taking somebody that doesn't know you, has no clue, and not problem aware or solution aware, and then warming them up to a point where they are a buying customer.
Buy right now.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, and think about it, the resistance is going to go up even further over the next time. We have so much, information being pumped at us, through different channels and stuff. Like, how does anyone make a decision nowadays is beyond me. That's your job. All sales is change. Okay. You're asking somebody, and if you want to be good at sales, you have to be a good leader. So where do we engage with them? You engage with them at the research phase. You go after prospects. And again, you can't do it all there. You would have to have a balance, right? We need to generate leads, but the investment of building your contact list, that is the asset that you're going to sell at the end of your business. So again, I'll give you a good example of this. I'm not buying ads right now. All right. I'm letting everyone else that's been starving all winter bid the shit out of each other for them. Why? Because I've been running these engagements. I have 63,000 contacts in my database that I can turn around in my CRM and blast a campaign to. And I've got all the leads that I need to generate. All right. That I don't need to get into bidding wars for $25, $30 keywords. That's where consistency comes from. Right. And again, when I reach out to people, it's because I have a relationship. It's because I've stayed in touch. I have contact. I've given value. I'm a trusted source with them. What's that equal? Why would you do all this work? Well, I'll tell you why. Because you can ask more money. People expect to pay more, right?
And the person looking for deck materials is going to be different than the person looking for ideas.
Well, so it comes back to our avatar, right?
So, and then different email marketing campaigns associated with, like, hey, looking to do it yourself.
Right.
Here's the matrix of different materials, different price points. So you have that. Yeah.
Right. So we've talked a lot about, kind of understanding that buyer's journey and where to engage and where to implement earlier in the buyer's experience, right? So let's kind of go through the rest of this. And by the way, this is a tool that I'll have posted for this, but it's a great way to kind of direct your marketing. Okay. So if we want to think of it big and broad, where does it start? Well, it can be ads, referrals, anywhere. That's just where we've got some awareness created. Okay. Next, we want to engage. So today, I'm going to be talking about your social media. How many of you guys actually use your social media to create engagement? Probably zero. What a loss. What a throwaway. That's free traffic in free ways. But the problem is you guys aren't creating engagement there. People are going and you're just showing pictures and social proof sometimes. But how many are really generating leads through your social media? Probably pretty few. And that's because we don't understand how easy it is, number one. All right. So again, for you guys in my Facebook group and stuff, like, we create engagement in that group. Right. Yeah, absolutely. Right. That's what social media is there for. It's meant to have a conversation. If we can think about how to authentically start conversations about our brand or our offer there, we're going to have far more people and far better leads, because they may be seeing your post or something that got their interest. Again, we should be, really thinking about the structure of our social media, but, you can get, if you understand your client and what they're experiencing, it's very easy to create content around that pain, around the problem that you can solve. Right. So in terms of, again, systemizing this, we can use AI a little bit. I don't recommend that it gets overdone, but for example, you're going to use content to create a question or create an answer or offer a lead magnet, or that's a great place. That's a transactional conversation. Okay. I do not recommend that you try to create unique conversations or connections with clients using AI yet. Okay. It's just not there. It's more chance that it will go off the rails, but here's what you can do, right? You should still be able to respond to anybody that's making comments and thank them for it. Easily done with AI, right? Yeah, go ahead.
What do you think about retargeting campaigns on,
100%.
So no-brainer, right?
Yeah. So again, here's a great strategy that we've been using. They're called, messaging campaigns. Okay. So your Q&A. So first thing is first, the way that we use it is we always let them know that we're an AI, but your commonly answered questions, how your business operates, and if they want an appointment. Okay. People are totally into that. They don't mind that speed and convenience for them if it's transactional. Where the problem is and where the line is that you should be using your content to send the message and make connection. Okay. So think about genuinely posting what you're doing and why would it matter to the customer? All right. Not just look at me, but like, for example, you're going to shoot a short 15-second video on the dangers of, not having a contractor's checklist before you hire a contractor. Would you like that piece of content? Because that's what I'm offering. That's a place to start. What's that going to do? It's going to create engagement. They are now putting up their hand, indicating to you that they are interested in what, that piece of value. What did you get in exchange? Now you've got contacts, you've got emails, you've got phone numbers. Okay. For the smart contractors, here's the numbers, by the way, guys. And I run these campaigns at full scale, so you can trust assured. Picking up the phone, all right, will get you 20% conversion. All right. Any of these other just engagement and like chatting with people will get you about 3% if you're doing it really well. So we should always be looking to make real connections. The speed to lead, all that kind of stuff plays into it. But again, can you generate enough leads? Hell yeah. If you want to drive more traffic, more engagement, you've got really good posts, 100%. It could be transactional. Okay. If you're not good at content and you're not, making quality posts, cool. There's still a method here, right? So if you want to run straight ads with a messenger bot, perfect. What are we doing there? We're attaching the top 3% of the market that are ready to buy now or interested in our product or service, and we're immediately qualifying those leads and getting them into our pipeline and serving them. So again, you can work it both ways. Okay. One of the best ways is offering something instead of asking for something. So asking somebody to book a call or a lead or whatever, not the best approach. I would recommend you, again, attach yourself to keywords or searches where somebody's in the research phase, offer them some value through those messengers. So again, a checklist, a piece of content, whatever. All right. Calculator, directing them to your landing page, like all of those things are helpful. All right. And it's going to create awareness, but more importantly, with your CRMs, if you're doing it properly, you can now see what the client is. So let me show you what I'm talking about here, so it doesn't sound like pure madness. All right. So yeah, go ahead.
So I hope I'm not being rude by interrupting to ask. Okay. So CPC, anywhere in the funnel, either top 3%, 17%, doesn't matter, comes in, Facebook pixel to go to social media retargeting, and then run a messenger campaign with an AI bot with a lead magnet.
Yeah, that you're making it more complicated than it needs to be. So one or the other. Number one is you're going to put yourself in the buyer's journey. So is it appropriate to offer that content? It depends on where the conversation started. So for example, if someone's asking for a quote, book them on a calendar. That's the mechanism. Don't try and do too many things, because that's how you lose prospects. It's got to be one thing, one action. We overthink kind of how to build a funnel by thinking that like 10 steps ahead. What you want to put your mindset is you want to only promote and get them to take the very next logical action. Okay. So it's like the outcome is book a call. All right. But really that bot or that action you're doing in your funnel should only be, I only want them to download a lead magnet. That's it. Stop there. Get that working. Move to the next thing. So from the lead magnet, I know it's going to take me 30 to 60 days of warming a prospect up. So here's Contractor AI. Let me explain to you how this works. So you'll notice that there's an engagement score. All right. Forgive me if anyone's name is in here. Honestly, I'm playing my cards open so you understand. I won't book a call with anyone until they've got an engagement score above 12. Why? They don't have enough touch points. They won't be offer or problem aware. So there's no point in me blowing a sales opportunity, all right, by getting on the phone too early with someone. They don't know who I am. I'm a stranger. I haven't given them enough value. I haven't built enough trust or rapport with them for me to have that conversation. So what we look at, and again, there's a difference between playing checkers and playing chess, okay? We're figuring out what their pain point is by the content that they open, okay? So for you guys that are reading the emails, it's all linking back to what I can help you solve, right? The conversations, it's all meant to figure out what it is that you're trying to resolve, and then for me to provide value so that you trust me enough to get on the call. Nowhere in there am I trying to sell you something. I'm trying to get you to take the natural next step, right? by doing that, now the client journey becomes clear. So I'm not contacting people that aren't under a 10. And I'm also going to make the conversations unique. All right. So based on what they've engaged with, so you'll notice, a couple of the lead magnets we got going out, if it's all sales and marketing, well, I'm only going to talk about sales and marketing with them. I'm not going to push operations because that's not what they're trying to solve. So our content now becomes unique and more specific to them. Okay. Now, if I wanted to get really into it, I can see like what they've opened, what they've engaged with, and that helps me not to bother people or be a pest or be a nuisance to somebody that's not interested in my offer. Right now, I'm not wasting my time either chasing down people that are not showing a level of engagement. But here's the fun part. Just because they're not engaged now doesn't mean that in a month or 2 months from now they don't hit 10. And that's what's been happening all along. So my investment, has been 6 months of building ads, just giving, right? In order for people to actually start to, consume the content, ask questions. That's what I mean by engagement. Like think of the Facebook group itself. What's that meant for? Is there hard sales going on there? Am I demanding people buy my product? No, that's not the place. It's inappropriate. Those are for the most part, a bunch of strangers that we're trying to become friends with. Okay. My only job and purpose in there is to provide some value. And by providing that value of looking at the problem they're trying to solve, all right, it helps, again, to identify the offer. How am I going to help them solve their problem? What order do I do that? Okay. Same thing you would do for I got it from contracting, right? Like, so you can practice the same thing. And this is where this is the handoff you need for a sales team, as far as I'm concerned. Because a lot of us will just bulldoze call people, wrong time, wrong place. Here, I can tell you what time they open their emails on average. I can time it that somebody calls them within 5 minutes of opening that email. Why? They're thinking about it, right? So again, I send out a proposal. Somebody opens it. Now that might be when we call if we have a caller available. Think about applying that now to your business. How much more personalized would someone feel? And this is the big thing I want to drive home from today. Okay, this is what I want you all to walk away with. If you use technology to avoid making human connections, it's not going to work. People are going to be looking more and more for human contact and connection. Where these tools come into play is knowing when and where to have that connection with them. Is having a system and an ability to test messages, because it's a combination lock. Okay. The more and more you figure out how your customers respond, how they interact, how they feel, when the right time is to reach out to them, and the less salesy you become, all right, the more value you give, the more authority you build. That's going to make for a much more consistent sales process. And again, tell me I'm crazy, but our sales reps, our teams, we all work on these systems, right? It's only when the customer's indicating they're interested, right? Just like dating again. If somebody's not interested, don't keep asking them out. Don't keep being weird, right? We only want to ask people that have shown or expressed interest or that have followed the client journey that we built. Does this make any sense? Anybody have any questions? I know that was a lot of information.
It's a lot of information, dude.
Sure. So, but again, I'm trying to get the whole big picture out to everyone. So does anybody have any questions?
Trying to keep up.
Right. I know it's a lot, but again, I'm trying to get you guys as much of the big picture. Once you get the big picture view, it's easier to work backwards from that. So the next questions, well, how do I create engagement? And that's what the training. So each week I've been giving you guys the step-by-steps. So if you follow those exact steps, you'll ultimately be able to achieve the big picture that I'm discussing, right?
Yeah, I got a question here. So
Sure.
Is anyone like on this call have kind of an automation or a system that they can work on, or
What do you mean?
have you guys like have something that automated somehow?
I was at the point right now where I was all happy about my Facebook pixel. So once
Okay.
on my website, I could show up on their Facebook and Instagram. That was my that's.
Is there something particular you want to see? Because obviously I have them. I don't give anything to any of your clients unless I have a proven thing in my own business, right? So, I mean, if you're looking at process and Eric, we built a ton of them for you. So,
yeah, I've been 2-3 years now with you, so
right. And again, it's learning more and more every time we build new
it's
offers.
learning a lot of things. There's
right.
so much to learn. I'm not done yet.
Yeah, we're never done. We're never done.
Never done. And at first you're like, oh my God, there's so much, right? When you
Well, again, it's that
start thinking
overwhelm
about, yeah,
feeling,
when you
right?
starts thinking about, sales, marketing, processes,
Right.
culture, you got all these pieces in place, and you're the only guy up there that has to manage, kind of all the puzzle.
Hmm.
Um, it could be overwhelmed, right? So everybody on the call there, it's like, don't get, you know, don't get crazy about all of this thing. It's one step at the time, right?
Totally.
If you want to start eating an elephant, it's one bite at the time.
Absolutely.
And this is, I think, Jay, you're providing a lot of great value. Um, we just have to basically work off, what Jay is providing to us, and being proactive, right? So this is, a time in the history that you guys can shine with all the different tools. There's hundreds of tools out there. So I think, Jay can guide you and share with you like which tool would make sense for your processes and, your type of company, right?
So again, here's the quick win that I'm going to deliver today. So for everybody that's, on the call, I want to deliver a piece of value to you. Okay. Two things. I'm going to give you a SOP on auditing your social media. So getting the sediment from your social media. It's, again, if you're using it to do this one thing, looking at your competitors, looking at building an offer, figuring out what people like and what they don't like. Okay, this is a very easy activity. No AI, no nothing involved with it. Something you can do in 1 to 2 hours. Okay, that's going to give you huge insight. So that's the first thing I'm going to give you. Second thing I'm going to give you is a rock solid plan on speed to lead, right? Again, if there's anywhere where you're going to jump in and make an investment or, figure out how to do it, this would be my number one choice. This is the quickest win that I can provide to anybody. And it's purely on logic, right? How quickly do we respond? And, once you start to get those things in place, you're going to see a big, big shift in your time. All right. Your conversion rates, just about every aspect of your business will improve. Just do this one thing. Focus on one simple thing that you can change that, doesn't take a lot of work. And you'll see that most of the strategies that I'm showing you, the CRMs, all of that are based on those things. Okay. And yeah, go ahead.
For people who sign up with the Marketer Pro AI,
Mhm.
Is the speed to lead AI chatbots part of the package?
Absolutely. Of course. Of course. Of course. So that, I mean, again, but it's not like offer, like speed to lead means nothing if our offer isn't right. So I would say the thing you
Oh
get.
no, I wouldn't say
Yeah.
that. I
Yeah. Yeah.
wouldn't say that. You're being too harsh. Like, even if you're paying, even if you're competing CPC against everyone out there,
Mhm.
You're just gonna pay more.
you've already spent the money on the lead or on the click.
Yep.
This speed to lead stuff, it matters a lot, even at that point.
Well, I mean, that's how this game's going to be won or lost.
Yeah,
In terms of comparing yourself to competitors, all right, do yourself a favor. Do yourself the easiest thing you can do. Put a request in on your competitors' channels and see how quickly they respond to you. You want to
They all
find the
suck.
gap?
They all
Anyone
suck.
can do it. Okay. Go find how quickly they respond and see if you're up to par. All right. If everyone takes 5 days in your market, cool. Don't fix
I
anything.
like that a
Yeah.
lot, man. I
Right.
like that.
I have tried with Solar Company. I have tried with I submitted 5 forms, and everybody sucked. Like, some of them, they contacted me like in 5 days. Hey, can I talk to John? I'm like, I submitted the form like 5 days ago, and you
Right.
call me now. So you're thinking like they might be a little bit more advanced, where they are in the technology space like Solar, but they're not.
No. And that's the gap that I've been explaining. So some of this stuff is so new that, I mean, big companies haven't figured out how to utilize it yet. And again, like there's going to be many reiterations of it, but at the end of the day, if you remain focused on the outcome that you want to give to the client, the outcome needs to be much like an Amazon experience. The more you can move to providing someone with what they're comfortable receiving, because everyone, even grandma now, is buying from Amazon. Why? Why do they stop going to shopping centers? Why? Like, I'll tell you why.
It's easy, it's instant.
It's instant. You've got it. So people are busy. They're overstimulated. I mean, just think of the pace we have to move nowadays. Think about your social media, how much messaging. Now, think about the attention span that we have with somebody. So somebody reaches out to you, and some of you guys running social media ads, you'll probably know this. You've got clients now that put in a freaking lead request that they just never get back to you. Like, I responded, you know why? They've lost their attention. They forgot about that thing. They've moved on, right? They've gone on with their busy lives. That's where these things are just like, there's nothing right now that's as quick a win that you can achieve, right? Your websites, you can put them there. You can, think about it this way. How many of you guys answer the same fucking question over and over and over again to your clients? Schedules, all this stuff. These are what AIs do. And think about using it in a practical, easy, don't get caught up in all the hype and the information out there. It's not Terminator. It's not like, none of this shit's real. Okay. The reality is it's only a tool. Okay. And it's meant to exchange information. It's a conversation if you want it to be. But how do you practically apply it and have it start to ROI for you day one? The first place. Yep.
I have a question. I actually am doing that. I'm contacting a few kitchen suppliers that are my competitors.
Yep.
To see how quickly they're responding. And I have one that's really quick, but their offer, like you said, they have a great offer, but it's also like the most unrealistic offer. It's like a whole kitchen for like $5,099. It's like insane. So it's great, but like, I don't know. So I'm trying to research now, what the hell are they selling? Because this price is insane.
Okay.
It's just so low. But yeah, they're quick. Like someone's chatting with me all morning, sending me emails. But this is probably a person, or do you think this is AI?
So again, it's a fine line. Chances are they probably, if it's a person, it's offshore. Which again, like I have setters that are, in all different types of parts of the country, because you can't pay somebody here to do those things. It's just the reality, right?
Okay.
Like bringing in a staff member, unless they're fully dedicated to sales, but I mean, it's rare, I would say, nowadays. So most likely, again, it's a combination of both at this point. If they're really, really quick, like again, the best way to do it is message someone after hours and see how quickly they get back to you. And then you can just always ask if it's an AI.
Okay.
All right. So like most bots, like again, unless they've like gone and recoded it, they have to disclose that they're AI.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like a person. Like it's not weird.
Okay.
Like, sometimes you can tell it's like choppy and weird.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, again, it's just figuring out what your offer is. So that's what I'm interested in kind of putting together, because this offer, I don't even, honestly, like they have to be losing money, or it's really like a bait and switch big time.
It's what we call a tripwire offer. Okay. So these are very common. What a tripwire offer is, a low barrier entry, all right, that get people excited. But think about the avatar that they're going after here. It's not your brand. Okay. It's not your styles.
We do some of it. We
Yeah.
do some of that, and sometimes the quality of the leads suck, right? So
they do, because you're gonna be hitting on price sensitive clients. So that's actually a gap. So think about your brand, and this is kind of where we started the whole discussion around offer. Is what we want to be looking for is, what do people really want, right? So another really easy way to do the research, and use the SOP I'm sending you today. Go on to the public forums, go on to the websites, go on to their reviews or referrals, find out what the sentiment is. Like, people like this, they didn't like that. They like this, they didn't like that. And you're going to very quickly realize that, hey, you know what, if I serve the market, if I want to do high-end clientele, well, their needs and wants are night and day to the person that's price sensitive, right? So do we need to wear somebody else's underwear, right? Which a lot of times, if you're working with an agency or a marketing company, you're wearing someone else's underwear. If you've left it up to someone else to create your offer and market for you, all they're doing is copying one that they've had work with another client. Okay. And that offer isn't yours. Okay. That's the biggest problem that I see, is it's not unique. And then when it comes time to convert a client, there's a mistrust built, right? So think about making that offer yourself. Could you follow through with that kitchen price? No. Would you attract the clients that you would typically do business with? No. So don't worry about what they're offering. That's actually, again, in a SWOT analysis, which, by the way, Lily, you can access all those trainings. I've got it really systemized in terms of the step-by-step. If you want to really get into the offer, figuring out where your gaps are, it's a data-driven process. It's not hard once you kind of grasp, looking at your competitors, You don't want to go and match what they're doing. You actually want to do the opposite. Okay, they're offering cheap. Okay, the next guy, he's offering super high end. He's offering like the 10th nines. He's slow to respond. He's got all these other, service issues. They're slow to get them installed. Like, you can find it. It's all out there in the open, right? Like, people love to share this kind of stuff. Go collect that. When you step back from it, what you're going to find is where your place could be in the market. So maybe people are looking for well priced. They don't want cheap. All right. But they want the middle. They want the better, not the best, not the good. And that's where most people will be really successful. The volume of the market, 80% are going to want to buy there. Okay. What is their behaviors and buying habits at that point? Right. They're going to value speed and convenience, right? They're busy. They're working people, right? They don't have a lot of time. So value that, like, take advantage of those things. They want to feel validated. They want to feel like they're being heard. You can build all of that into what your business is uniquely, right? So again, when we get down to offer, a lot of times we overthink and get ourselves stressed out, but put yourself in the buyer's shoes. Okay. Do you think the buying journey is different buying a Lamborghini than it is a Honda?
Yeah.
Okay. Does somebody going to buy a Lamborghini expect to pay more money?
Yeah.
Okay. Would the decision-making process be the same as buying a Honda or buying a Lamborghini?
I think so.
No, totally
No?
different.
Totally
So the person
different.
that's going to buy a Honda Civic is generally going to be looking at what? Safety features, longevity, economics, if Honda Civic went to start a Lamborghini brand, do you think it would be successful?
Yeah, no.
No, because that's not the messaging that they've sent. That's not the offer that they've made. So the people that are loyal to their brand expect certain things. Okay. The same way with Lamborghini, like, people aren't worried about price. They're not, like, it's directed so specifically at a certain, niche in the market. Right. And that's the cool thing about marketing nowadays. And that's why I say that we're in an abundant world of opportunity, because very few people understand that. Very few marketing companies understand it, right? The more that we align our offers to the type of customer, the type of business, the type of lifestyle we want, all right, and we can connect with those customers on a human level, all right, and offer them something of high value, the easier business becomes, right? It's almost like playing on cheat code, right? Like, get this right, and everything else magically starts to work. Get this wrong, and you will struggle with everything else no matter what. Right?
I think sometimes it's a scarcity mindset too, right?
For sure. For sure. There's a ton of that goes into it, man. And again, it's, the way that we always got to look at things is we're on a marathon, all right? You're not going to, the more you figure that out, and, like, as a contractor, it's a marathon. It's not a race, right? We're not fixing something. Like, embrace it, like, understanding your offer. Yeah, you're not going to get it perfect, but it's the consistency and knowing that that's a core thing. And, part of, what most companies fall short on, and where they never figure it out. It was never a production issue. It was never a resource issue. It came back down to, they had a shitty offer that nobody wanted. They were pitching their services. They weren't pitching, the solution that they have. They weren't visible in the market. People didn't respect them. Like, all these things can be corrected. And again, if we were to look at how do we get, return on these activities, lean into it and be okay with it not being perfect, right? We can't be perfect. We can get 80, the 80-20 rule to apply here, but you will be fundamentally light years ahead of everyone else in your market, and you will automatically just add follow-up, add speed of lead, get an offer that's a little different than everyone else's. That's, game over, right? You will outperform. Even if you can outperform your nearest competitors 3 to 4% on average,
compounded, you're
down. Like, again, that is the difference between a $10 million company and a $1 million company struggling. That is the only thing that I've seen from my eyes in terms of sales and marketing. That is the difference. All right. So again, in my own company,
can you go to that list again real quick?
Yeah. So the first things is right now offer. Your offer is, like, critical, right? If you don't get this offer right, it doesn't matter. The rest is all in vain. Okay. So, and again, once you got your offer, things like speed to lead, right? Client journey, the things that we've been talking about, like, those go hand in hand.
That's exactly what we're working on currently, last week or two.
Right.
We're working on our core offer, our or a client journey.
Right.
And now I'm going to put the speed to lead in process.
Yeah. So, I mean, again, go back in all the trainings and just take those. Like, I literally gave you the SOPs on how to do it. Right. I gave, like, if you think about the whole course, it's all built on an offer framework. And the simpler you can explain to your customer how it is. Don't sell your benefits and features. Sell the problem you solve.
I think
Got it.
I think for me is like, I was thinking about the core offer is we do DAC and interlock. We do both DAC and interlock. So we can provide a complete solution where you got interlock companies, you got DAC companies, and our ideal customer will pay 10% across the board to have one company deal with both.
So what's
the scarcity around that is currently that's about 10 to 15% of my business.
Okay.
Now, to the point of the marathon, if that's where Empire is going to win compared to the rest of the market.
But is it? Like, again, here's where you have to let
I
data.
knew you were going to say that. I knew you were
Well, but it's only because I've gone through the pain of like letting my assumptions assume that I could scale this offer. I'll give you a good example. I mean, I started selling plastic shingles back in the day and did really, really well with them. All right. But there was a major scalability problem with it. Had I done my research the way I do now, I would have figured that out. Right. The problem with it is there's no installers. I would have to train all the installers on this product from scratch. And what would happen is I would sell way more than I could produce. So really, in essence, all I was doing was my marketing dollars were creating awareness for the brands so they were benefiting, but I wasn't. All right. So again, where your research is, it takes your assumptions out of the process. If you're making an offer, you cannot bring emotions or assumptions into the play.
Now, there's a possibility that my assumption is right.
100%.
To your point,
but you got to test it.
I might be right because of gut feel. Now, my assumption has to be validated using a process.
Correct.
A process.
Correct. Here's where you save yourself pain. Okay. Take your offer, take your assumptions. Don't write them off or say that they're wrong or anything like that, but you test it against the market. So social media, making, even what I'm doing right now, like I'm putting out, an offer. I'm putting out, feelers for it, like getting your messaging down before you launch something, before you just go and start spending money on ads. There's so many ways to validate and test your offer. Again, calling old customers, surveying them. Like I've given you guys all these roadmaps for how to validate the offer. And it is hard work, right? But
yeah, so how do we go from like, hey, we need quick wins, we need revenue now, we need, CPC conversions to a marathon of, hey, you know what, we're here right now. We need, a multiplier on ad spend. And then with a 12-month role plan that like, hey, we're going to make money this year and then we're going to position our offer and validate our offer 12 months from now.
Yeah. So that's very easy. So if I were in your exact shoes, speed the lead, boom, done. That off the ads, you're going to immediately increase 20 to 25%, just like that.
I'm already paying for the lead. I might as well.
Right. Then not giving up on your leads early. So that's the thing. On average, it takes 9 to 15 touches nowadays before someone recognizes your brand. So build touch points in, even if it's shit emails, even if it's like, don't worry about it. Just get those touch points in. From there, the data will tell you what they like and what they don't like. Like, again, guys, do you think I know exactly what to say to you? Like,
coming from, dude. This is where the overwhelm is coming from, right? Where it's like, like I'm speaking very candidly, if you don't mind.
Right. So then, like, for you, you've already made the first step. Like, you're in our program. So we're just going to fix that for you, right? Don't get overwhelmed with that. On the ad side, if we just put that one process in place, like, again, that's the easiest way, but it's got to be with the intention of putting the work in on validating your offers. That buys you more time, right? Buys you more like room for mistakes, right?
So we can still spend money on that 3% because we
fuck yeah. No, absolutely. I wouldn't tell you to ever shut it off. No. I'm not, guys, maybe I wasn't clear about this. I'm not saying tear down your walls, burn the buildings, let's start over. No.
We're shutting the operation down until we get figured out.
You're hilarious.
I don't know, dude. I don't know.
Yeah, it's all good, man. No, so again, offers it's not an overnight thing. It's testing, it's validating. It's something that once you set in motion, you do consistently. every day you update. Like, think changes in the market happen all the time, and you have to adjust to those things. Opportunities come, you want to offer a new offer. This is what I mean by that. Like, don't get, but in terms of your exact situation, boom, speed the lead, baby. Like, that's how you're gonna win.
Email marketing, Facebook,
Yep.
social media
Cheap.
retargeting.
That's right.
Those are all low cost, high ROI. Get
Massive,
it done.
yeah.
No
And that's
brainer.
going to give you your results, give you enough room to breathe, and
Yeah.
you'll see immediate results. And that's what I'm saying with the technology. Just implementing those things gives you the time to actually get, into the process of building a quality offer, right?
Yeah, it'll take 12 months or so to, or maybe even less, frankly. But if you give yourself 12 months to be like, hey,
Yeah,
we're going to position the company to be a unique offer.
well, this will be fun. So we'll see in 90 days how far we get with it, right?
Do you mean offer like a promotion, or do you mean just what is your company offering as a whole? Like, what's your
Yeah, let me quickly explain for you. Okay, so it starts off like this. So first of all, it's 100% a process. Okay, so an offer is taking an idea or something that you're currently offering, all right, and either optimizing it, all right, so making it better, making it more appealing, updating it. Like, you can dress it up. So, like, again, the service you offer doesn't really change, does it? You guys are builders, contractors. Where the offer might change is that we now only offer our services to an avatar that's, $2.5 million a year, or $2.5 million net worth person that has a, executive level job. Okay. Our offer is different because we offer faster service, quicker turnarounds in design and permitting. That might be part of the messaging now that you're going to, take to that customer, but you would have to validate that those things are real pain points for them. Does that make sense? So
so okay,
so
because I
let me
have
give
an
you,
idea of our niche. It's just I'm like trying to figure out a good offer as we're talking.
it's again, I put in like how I do mine exactly, like in the step by step. It's got like proper manuals and stuff to go step by step. Again, once you kind of get like the step, you stop really thinking about it, right? And again, if you want to update your offer, you got to have a system to do that, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, so it's just a little bit more research into it,
Or you
and
could just get us to do it. Take the
this is
burden off
true.
your head. We'll just do it. I mean,
Yeah.
again, it's the difference. Do you want to go? Do you want to struggle with this, or you just want us to come fix the problem? We can go on to other things.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Right?
because I'm
So-
just thinking of what offers we have right now on like our Facebook ads and
Right.
why it's not working, right? Basically. is what
Well,
I'm
you
trying
just
to-
said it right there. You don't even know what you're offering.
Yeah.
So there you go. So you're wearing
Well,
somebody's
it's like,
underwear.
2,500 off kitchens,
That-
but it's like such a
that's-
nothing offer, right?
So if I were in your shoes and I want to deal with a high, like I want to do right now, the only people that are buying in the market, as far as I'm concerned, are high rollers. Those are people with $2 to $3 million net worth that are not infected by the downturn in the market. Okay. There's an abundance of those people, by the way, and they're wildly underserved. Okay. So if I were in your position, which I am, okay, I am going through this with other clients and stuff, I can't afford to go after people that are price sensitive, or that just shopping, or that, they have a $5,000 budget and $100,000, project in their hand. That's not going to work. You're going to waste too much time with that. So where you have to shift is figuring out on the high end, right? People are still installing $300,000 and $400,000 kitchens. There's less and less of $25,000 and $100,000 kitchens. So don't put yourself in that red ocean. The people you're going to find in that offer are people that, again, would appreciate a $2,500 rebate. Somebody building a $300,000, $200,000, project, that $2,500 doesn't mean anything to them. That's a terrible offer. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So-
and those are the rental sizes we need to be attracting, right? Yeah.
So I would actually push your design agreement, your design process is being speedy. So I know something again about the whole permitting thing. On average, it's 6 months. It's back and forth with the designer, blah, blah, blah. Like, that's headaches for people. So solve the problem. I guarantee you an installed renovation or permits issued, start to finish, selections made in under 90 days. And I'm just throwing it out there. But again, lean on the things that your competitors can't offer, right? So there's lots of builders out there that cannot do design.
Well, we have a full design showroom where we literally pick everything down to the grout color. And that's like a
So
huge thing for convenience that I obviously am not tapping into properly.
and you literally like going the other route is going to attract the wrong clients. You're
Yeah.
so far off the mark on that,
Yeah.
just right off the bat, just in giving you a little bit of feedback. Like,
Yeah.
and then the way you go about engaging and attracting those clients that are high end. So what you don't want to, where you're not going to find them most often is they're not doing a lot of Google's the last place they go. Okay. So somebody that has money is problem aware. They want a new kitchen, they want a new renovation in the high end area. Where do you think they go first? What do you think they do first?
I don't know. I'm gonna give you like house. I'm gonna give you the wrong answer though. I'm pretty sure. I don't know.
It's a broad question. So they research.
Yeah.
Right. So they're not, again, you're not using optimized Google keywords for that. You're using things like blogs and your social media, and like you're going to give them a glimpse of a high-end kitchen that gets their attention and gets them to ask a question or gives them some value, right? Like that's how you're going to attract them.
Yeah.
Right. Gold mine right now is social media. Like we're just fucking slaughtering it there because we're calling out our avatar. We're showing them images of what they want. They can see it in their mind and like they're still buying, right? They're still interested.
Yeah.
What I'm not promoting and what I'm not shooting is our like middle class, right? We're not because we know that market's dead. I can just look at my Google analytics and I can see right away, like they've stopped consuming. They're at a dead standstill. Don't go near them, right?
Okay. So like upper middle class is
I would
okay?
go even above that. So we're looking for baby boomers, retirees. We're looking for, again, because there's places in Ontario right now where they're immune to this shit. You go to cottage country right now, like, I mean, we're on fire up there. Like we're just closing left and right. And it's all to the same person, same exact avatar. They owned a business, they're multimillionaires, like they've got money to burn. They're probably in Florida, like just get it done, right? Like we've taken in right now, my projects on average are about $160,000 ticket price. Crazy,
roofing.
right?
Yeah, for roofing.
All metal roofing, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So again, where you want to gravitate towards is don't fight the resistance. So going cheap or going low ball right now is not going to get you more customers. It's going to put you in a complete red ocean where everybody that hasn't marketed now starts to market. And guess what they do? All the agencies are lining up to just burn these guys hard. All right. Because they haven't invested in any marketing before. So they're going to take, the offers that get a lot of clicks and leads, but don't get any results, that don't close customers, that don't get projects. Lila, for you, by the way, I think I was mentioning it. There's a sneaky little trick that you can get everybody that's been approved for permits. You can get their phone numbers and emails.
Oh, well, that's good.
Come
Okay.
at me. I'll tell you how.
Okay.
So we bypassed all that. Hey, if they got permits, right, and they need some engineering or whatever done, like that would be where I would start. Like the ones that have just gone through the city of adjusters or the committee of adjusters. Right. So, F that line because, and that's in every municipality, by the way, it's public information.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I bet you didn't know that.
I did not know that.
I didn't know it either. I'm just messing with you. I didn't know it till a couple weeks ago anyways.
Oh, okay. That's great though.
Yeah. It's pretty, and then you'd use you'd use an outbound strategy for that. So peer engagement, getting on the phone, if you have the ability to do that, that's just, I mean, again, everybody's looking, especially with the pricing and stuff, like, Yeah.
Okay, that's smart. Yeah, that's a really good idea. Okay, some good ideas for sure.
Cool.
Okay, just before I go and spend my last dollar on Google Ads, joking, ha ha ha.
Yeah.
Just I want to get your thoughts on Google demographic targeting.
Okay.
How accurate it is, right? So
it's not accurate at all. But hold on. So let's first of all, you got to understand how the algorithm works. You're telling the algorithm what you're looking for. Okay. So really demographics, it's a part of it, but it's not it's the behavior patterns that it's picking up on. You didn't know that, did you? Because it's not allowed to actually pick out people based on their age. That's illegal. It's like that's targeting, right? So we have big, like all these lawsuits and like the 14 updates and stuff. Don't get caught up in that targeting. It's actually better now to have less of that. All right. And having your ad. So think about this in your copy. If you're speaking,
just so we can close that loop, just so I understand
Sure.
it correctly. Google has a function where you can go age, household income, gender.
okay, so but that's just giving
Don't
the
use that at all, is what you're saying.
not when you're like, if your ads aren't scaling, take all those things off. All right. I would put it at like 30, 35. That's it. The reason your ads aren't scaling is because you put too many targeting things on it. And the more expensive, the more targeting you put. And that's the thing. The algorithm's trained to find the cheapest leads for you first. Okay. When you put so many conditions and like people do that, it's a rookie mistake. But until it's learned who your audience is, until you've spent some money on that.
You got to feed the Google Tags Manager.
Yes, man. Yes.
You tell Google who.
And then your CRM, if it's set up correctly, it's going to validate those leads that it's sending it to you. So you have to train it. So again, you start off very broad and wide if you haven't got a built audience yet. Okay. And then when people engage with your content, so your message, your thing, when they click on that, that's training the algorithm to go find more people like that. Okay. So yeah, you gotta focus on your copy. The copy is really like, that's the magic sauce. The offer goes in the copy, right? So how you present that, how you explain it, tonality, like, it's got to be strong.
I booked a call on Tuesday and we can get into that stuff.
Yeah, man, I love it. Let's do it. It's way simpler than you think, and everyone makes it complex. It's so it's stupid easy. And I've shown you like my campaigns. I've got them down to like $5 and $6. Like at the end of the day, there's no magic. People just overcomplicate it.
But between now and Tuesday, I've set up a bunch of campaigns that are top 3% in my opinion. So I can show you what I got there. And then I've also done some preliminary keyword research for the long-term nurture 17% market.
Okay. So yeah. And again, like I said, so we'll get into that because it's pretty technical.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anybody else have any questions before we get wrapped up here? No. All right, guys. I'll put up the posting with all the assets and stuff shortly in Skool. All right, guys. Have a great day. Bye.
Cool, Jay.
Thank you very much. Appreciate your
Bye.
time. Thank
Yep.
you.